Pathwink is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathwink qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences such as case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add Pathwink to your website in seconds, let the artificial intelligence do all the work. Get access to 50% more qualified leads via keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us out on pathwink.com. On today's episode of Pathwink Presents, I've got a very special guest with me joining today. Please welcome Jill Wallace. And she is the Director of Marketing Operations at eMotors Direct. So for all of you who don't know, they are Canada's industrial motor supplier. Come and check out the largest section of industrial motors, controls, and gear residues in Canada. They specialize in getting you the best products for the job and as fast as possible. Jill, thank you so much for joining us today. It's an honor to have you on our show.
Thank you for having me, Maria. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure. So for all of our listeners out there, tell us, what does your company do, who your clients are, and ultimately, what is a problem that you solve for them?
Yeah. So we're eMotors Direct. We're Canada's largest motor search engine. Our goal is to make purchasing motors just a little bit easier for our customers. So we automate a lot of the steps that are currently manual today. So things like confirming where stock's located, stock availability, what your price is going to be, how long it's going to take to get there, and then if it is out of stock, suggesting some alternatives that would be exact replacements. So helping people source motors, but more importantly, decreasing the amount of downtime that they have while potentially waiting for a motor to arrive. We mostly work with maintenance managers, electrical contractors, OEMs, people who need motors to do their day-to-day jobs.
Awesome. Thanks for filling that in and giving me a rundown as for like what you guys do with clients overall. So in terms of your clients, how do they typically find you? Because I feel like with this industry specifically, a lot of it's referral based and word of mouth. But do you have digital marketing and inbound as well? Or is it a mix of currently so many different factors?
Yeah. Well, it is a very relationship-based business. It's industrial B2B. So that's definitely an important channel for us. But a lot of our customers do come through inbound marketing. SEO is one of our strongest channels. We have over 60,000 different products on our website. So if somebody's looking for that exact SKU, we want to show up in the search results. We do some paid advertising, and then some other just branding type marketing to try to position ourselves as experts because we are an online business. We want to make sure that people know we're not just selling a commodity. This is a second generation motor business and we know motors inside and out. So trying to just establish that with some of our branding that we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So now that you've talked about your clients overall, we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk about the website. So what would you say are the major strengths of your company's website? And then why are there opportunities for room for improvement as well?
Yeah, I think our biggest strength of our website is probably our team. We have a team of 4 developers who are just constantly looking to improve it, make the user experience better. We do a lot of customer research and interviews, and that's where we get a lot of insights around, little things that we just wouldn't have thought of because we're looking at the website every day. But our customers give us really good feedback. So I think it's that combination of our awesome team and then getting that feedback from our customers to be constantly making the experience better. I think the biggest potential weakness of our website is probably because it is a very relationship-based business. Because we are online, I think that initial interaction with our brand is often on the website. You might not realize that we have, a whole team of motor experts here that can support them. So I'd say that's the initial weakness, but we try to overcome that as quickly as we can once they're on the site.
Amazing. Sweet. Thanks for giving me a rundown as to strengths and the opportunities for improvement. So now we want to talk about you as a leader. So tell us, what do you do on a daily basis? Who do you work with? Who is your team? And ultimately, what you love about what you do.
Yeah. My day-to-day is always different and it evolves quite a bit. I've been here for about 3 years. So from when I started to right now, my role has changed a lot and I really like that about the role. It's very dynamic. I work with our internal sales and marketing team, work with our external agency partners, and just kind of keep everything really organized, make sure we're all working towards a common goal, set the strategy for a project and then make sure that it gets executed and just try to get as much input as I can from our team and, make a really good and deliverable.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. So we're getting close to the end of our interview now, and I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions. Are you
okay? Yes.
So with the overwhelming amount of content out there for marketers, where do you go to learn, grow, keep up to date? And I understand we're being in this specific industry, trends are probably very different compared to what marketers normally read, which is like Marketing Brew or going to the HubSpot blog. But how do you stay up to date in this specific industry?
Yeah, I do love the HubSpot blog. That's a great resource. But when I'm looking for just general inspiration or looking to see some really great marketing campaigns, I really like Ogilvy. They just have some really great, or global agency, and have some really great campaigns out there. But then I do so much research on just a day-to-day basis in my role. For example, we started YouTube as a big channel for us this year. We started a how-to series for motor maintenance and had to learn a lot about, YouTube SEO and best practices and, things to test and try. So I'd say I just do a lot of research in the day-to-day, depending on what topic I'm working on.
Sweet. Thanks for sharing that. So now, what is the one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you couldn't start your journey as a marketer today? Is there anything that you would do differently? Or is there anything that you can recommend for our audience for what they could do?
Yeah, I think when I started out to now, one of the biggest differences is just being okay with not knowing the answer. I love asking questions and clarifying, figuring out what's below the surface of, a statement or a question. And I think when I started, I was, I wanted to be valuable and maybe didn't ask as many questions, but now I think that's probably my biggest strength is just really, really curious about things and making sure I fully understand where people are coming from before, making a move.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good overall. So my next question is, what is the last book that you read?
I am not a good reader, but I do like audiobooks.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I read How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I think it's just a really good book for anybody to read and or listen to. I really enjoyed it.
I'm gonna check it out. Who's the author, by the way?
I'm blanking on that. But I have one of their diagrams up on my wall. I really like their methods.
Awesome. I love that. Now, if there were no boundaries in technology, what would be the one thing that you would have fixed in your role today as a marketer?
No boundaries? What would I fix? I think I would love to just get my task list done a little faster. Maybe just get more done.
No, I hear you. I am waiting for the day where AI makes an email automation tool to help with all the people that have to go through. So now we're at the end of our interview today. And I want to thank you so much for joining us, but I also want to give you the last word. If anyone were to forget about everything we've talked about today, what is the one thing I want to remember about your guys' company overall?
Yeah, thank you for that. I think it's, if you're somebody who's curious about if they can save time and energy when sourcing industrial electric motors, check out our website and see if it's a good fit for you.
Awesome. Definitely. So for all the listeners out there, any of your motor needs, you know where to find Jill and her team at eMotors Direct.
Awesome. Thanks, Maria.
Yeah, thank you so much. For all the listeners out there, check us out next week on Patman Present.